So moving on to the tell me questions. The first one, can you tell me how you would check if the headlights and rear lights are working correctly? So you would switch them on and then simply walk to the front and the back of the car and make sure all the bulbs are working correctly. Can you tell me how you would check if the direction indicators are working correctly? So you can either put the indicators on left and then get out and check on the left hand side, and then swap them to right and get out and check on the right hand side, or alternatively you can press the hazard lights and walk around the car and check them all at once. Can you tell me how you would check if the brake lights are working correctly? So you would simply press down on the foot brake and ask somebody to check at the rear of the car. If you don't have anybody with you, you can reverse up to something reflective like the side of another car or a window and then check through the rear view mirror. Tell me how you would check if the foot brake's working effectively before starting a journey. So you would simply apply pressure to the foot brake and make sure there is tension in the foot brake. It shouldn't feel loose and spongy, and the car shouldn't pull to one side when the brake's applied. Tell me how you would check if the power assisted steering is working correctly. So you would turn the steering wheel with the engine switched off, and it should be quite heavy in the turn, and then you would turn the steering wheel with the engine switched on and it should become a lot easier to move. If it doesn't, then the power steering is not working effectively. Can you tell me how to position the head restraint correctly? So you would adjust the head restraint so the rigid part is at eye level or at the top of your ears and is sitting comfortably against the back of your head. Tell me how you would identify a fault with the anti-lock braking system. So an ABS warning light would appear on the dashboard in front of you. Tell me where you would find information on the tyre pressures and how you would check them. So you would find the information either on the inside of the door panel or in the car handbook, and you would check them using a reliable pressure gauge. And can you tell me how you would check the overall condition and tread depth on the tyres? So you check the outer wall of the tyre to make sure there are no cuts or bulges, and then check the centre 3/4 of the tyre to ensure that the tread depth is at least 1.6 millimeters, which is the minimum legal tread depth. And tell me how you would switch on the rear fog lights and explain when you would use them. So firstly you would have to turn on the dipped headlights, and then you would operate the switch in the middle to switch on the rear fog light, which you can now see on the control panel, and you would use that when visibility is less than 100 meters. And tell me how you would switch the dipped headlights to full beam and how you would know they're on full beam. So obviously you're going to turn the dipped headlights on first, and then you would push the indicator arm towards the front of the car, and you would know they're on because you would see the blue lamp highlighted on the control panel. For the tell me questions under the bonnet, you'd first of all need to release the bonnet from the inside of the car, and the handle for that is found on the inside of the door panel just next to the accelerator pedal. So this is the engine compartment. The three questions that you could be asked largely located towards the left hand side. So at the back here we have the brake fluid, and then the engine coolant, and then there's the dipstick for the engine oil. Starting with the engine coolant, tell me how you would check if you have sufficient engine coolant. So you would just simply identify the container by pointing at it and explain that you would check the minimum and maximum levels on the container to ensure the fluid level was above minimum. If it was below minimum, you would top it up to the required level. Tell me how you would check if you have sufficient brake fluid. So again, that's the container at the back with the yellow on top. You can't see the minimum and maximum lines on this very easily, but you would check the minimum and maximum lines, ensure the fluid level was above minimum. If it was below minimum, you generally want to get a mechanic to investigate that, as your car shouldn't normally lose brake fluid. And finally, tell me how you would check if you have enough engine oil. So you would remove the dipstick, wipe it with a cloth, reinsert it and take it out again. At the bottom of the dipstick you'll find two lines which act as minimum and maximum lines, and the fluid level should be above the minimum line. If it's not, then you will top it up to the required level. Thank you for watching.